Hello, everyone. My name's Ariskello, and I just wanted to go over my hardcore deaths from last year. Um, I know like a lot of people can learn a lot from hardcore deaths, including myself. I learn out from my deaths all the time. That's kind of like why I made a spreadsheet just to kind of go over all of these deaths. As you can tell, like I just like to keep a little bit of information on each character and kind of cry at how much time I've lost playing the game. You'll notice like a lot of these say Iron Man. It's because I used to play Iron Man to kind of get into the challenge side of World of Warcraft. I played it a lot more in retail, obviously, but they mentioned that they're going to bring it over to Classic, which they haven't completely done yet, but figured I'd give it a few test runs. It's been a while since I've watched a lot of these, so it'll kind of take a minute to be refreshed on them, but just to go over them. You can see here, I'm not going to go over these because there's no clips to kind of narrate, but you can kind of read off on these on your own leisure. So the first one, this was a kind of a crazy death here, um, because I was completely fine when I jumped down. It's actually when I set down my Stoneclaw totem, the Voidwalker gets pushed back a little bit, and that's what aggroes the other mob, and I kind of panicked and didn't know what to do. You can actually if I go back here a little bit, you can jump up on this rock and then jump up to here, and then jump up to here, and that'll cause these to evade. I don't know if I would have had enough time because this guy right here, Gazooz, he hits very, very hard. Another mistake here, I'm sitting there trying to heal myself. I could have popped Berserking, which would have gave me a little bit more cast speed. I might have got through with it, like a couple more heals, but ultimately it just would have been like a heal circle, stuck in a healing loop. So yeah, chunk down. Not a huge clip here, but a lot of people die to similar situations. The wise thing to do in this would just be to literally take my time and go all the way around. It would have probably, taken 15 minutes, but it's a lot safer. And a lot safer means no deaths. I don't have video footage of this one. This one is just very dumb. Like I didn't pay attention to my health. I was just going too fast. I was in the zone or whatever. Not in the hardcore mindset. Going slow is a huge thing of hardcore. Yes, this one. This one got featured on F's in chat. Uh, Tommy Salami helped me out here, kind of teaching me how to do this better. And it has something to do with like how I played, because he even said that I played pretty well in this situation. But at level 5 at Goldshire End, there's a weapon upgrade, and that weapon upgrade probably would have saved my life. And I have just enough silver for it, or not, just under enough silver. Just to rewind here a little bit. I was basically trying to sneak around this mob on the right side, and I thought I had plenty of room, quite frankly. But you'll see me when I move forward, before I aggro the second mob, I get combat right here. That's what that X means, is I'm in combat. He's not aggroed yet. It's that guy to that right. So he'll run up behind me. There he is. So now I try to basically keep aggro on the one because I'm being greedy a little bit. And then I notice there's a respawn. So don't get the respawn. Leash aggro. Fight, fight, fight. And it's going to tragically in a second here. No spoilers, obviously. It's a hardcore death highlight reel. And double death. Another thing I just realized is my dagger skill was all the way up. Probably not wouldn't make too much of a difference. But would have helped, obviously. Might have been the difference between life and death. My second shaman. This was kind of weird. I remember this one pretty vividly. So Stoneclaw Totem aggroed dog. Always a good idea when you have two mobs. I have Flame Tongue on, which, since learning, is the wrong call. You should always use Rock Biter. So this is me being greedy. I'm like, I want to get that kill. So I run back in there. I could have easily escaped. So I get the kill, start fighting the dog. That's an Earthbind totem right there. I don't know what happened with this dog and like why he didn't get affected by it. But you can see me set it down. I don't see a resist or anything pop up, and yeah, he chases me. Um, like to this day, like I don't really completely understand like why the dog got past my Earthbind totem, but from my understanding, it is because like the Earthbind totem pulses, and when I set it down, it was at the end of its pulsing cycle, so I had to wait for a whole new pulsing cycle, and by the time that pulsing cycle happened, like he was already out of range of it. But I have no clue. I really don't. Um, oh yeah, this one I was messing with an add-on. Not a big deal. Really low level mob, but I was sitting in front of a rare mob, and my add-on unit scan should have detected that rare mob, but it wasn't. Just trying to figure out why. Ah, yes. This is a lesson in fighting rares that you don't know the difference of. So, this is the rare, Timber. I've never seen him before, so I'm fighting him. I'm just like, I see he's patrolling around two heads. I might as well try him. So I fear him because he's like the highest level. I figured that'd be the right call. Uh, I meant to leave Curse of Weakness on this mob while he's like kind of like hitting on me so I can deal with the other mob back there. But I accidentally like overdo it and I put Curse of Agony back on that mob. This fear broke her a little early, so I had to. I was late on the reefer on that one, but I also didn't get aggro off my imp, so he just died right away, and that's a lot of lost DPS at this low level. Again, this is kind of like one of those things of not being patient enough and not knowing what you're fighting. Knowing what you're fighting is a big thing in hardcore. The So there's a trick with this mob that I'm fighting here, Vagash. You can kite him down to these guards, and these guards are pretty far away, so you have to keep attacking randomly, and to keep the leash on him, because if not, he'll just like run back to his cave. So a couple things I could have done differently here is he pats all the way out to basically where he is right now, so like it would have given me a lot more distance to, or a lot less distance, I should say, to get into the guards. This is extremely difficult on a warrior. I've seen a couple of people do it. I've done it successfully myself before. It's just not really worth it either. Like you get like a nice two-hander, but at the end of the day, like you're risking your character dying. That fall damage was kind of dumb. I knew like the fight was already lost, so it's like I could have either leashed it and started over, but again, level 11, it's not a really big deal to start over at that point. I'm not really sure what goes on in this clip. Let's just watch real quick. This looks like a thing of being just too low level. This warrior's really rough when you're fighting things above your level. Um, Another kind of sad, annoying, whatever you want to call it, thing about this is that I don't even need this mob. If you notice, I'm on the pre-quest to that, so completely wasted. Gazoo's again. Gazoo's slaps. Okay, like just ignore him if you can. He's a lot easier to deal with, like on casters. This is me taking a Shadow Bolt. The play with Gazoo's is always to line of sight his Shadow Bolts and then deal with the Voidwalker. Um, Believe it or not, the Voidwalker hits harder than that. I have no idea how that Shadow Bolt hit me because it looked like I was LOS of him. I mean, he's standing right here. That looks like an LOS even replaying this, and you can see it goes right through there. Could have been a spell batching thing. So early potion, because I have Blood Fury, you want to use a potion before Blood Fury. Yeah, I mean, he just. It's a lost battle. I think has like, what level? Yeah, level 12. So I'm fighting, again, mobs above my level. Not a good idea. And I'm trapped. So I just kind of accept death at that point. What can you do? I hated this clip. I know. So I've done this before many of times, low level. The difference between me doing this at low level and now is that my land hands is off cooldown because you can bubble, heal yourself up, and then next time you get low, pop your health pot and pop land hands, and then you can pop blessing protection, like so you kind of have two immunities there. Uh, this hunter also kind of could have helped me, but I mean I can't blame other characters for their actions. The other thing is I literally just cleared these mobs getting to Benny Blanco. So the fact that they respawned, I mean, you can see like dead mobs over here too that haven't respawned yet. So it's kind of weird to me. And at this point, I'm just like, I'm dead. Like, you kind of accept it. Um, I found out later there's a way to get the item through the wall here. Um, I mean, everything helps in hardcore, but I should have been able to do this quest with land hands. Oh, I already watched this one. Here we go. This is what happened. So, yeah, this one, like, I didn't heal up before I went in here. So that's, like, the first thing. I can't remember if I, like, aggroed this first mob, like, on accident. Trying to get the backstab on this mob. I aggro this mob over here. You can see him start casting. So at that point, I'm just like, I can't really fight two mobs at once. This is kind of a lost fight already. And then I'm kind of stuck. I see that one on each side. Health potion. Maybe I can get out. I notice I don't aggro like either one going through there. So I get like a little greedy and I'm just like, I can go back and maybe kill that mob. And here's where I mess up. I mean, obviously I already messed up once, but another mess up. If you notice down here, it says the Rogue Wizard, feel the power of the Brotherhood. That's his emote when he aggros. And if you roll back a little bit, I get a Frostbolt to the back, right there. So he must have padded back closer to me a little bit. So I get the mob down, so I kind of made the right call there. I just was a little sloppy in the execution of knowing that I could get that mob down. This was kind of dumb. So I need these mushrooms here. I have the other mushrooms already. I need these mushrooms, the yellow ones. And this is just like an example of me aggroing way too many mobs. So I get him. I'm doing fine and everything. And I'm just like, I gotta come back to the entrance. And in doing so, I aggro two more mobs. And part of that's like the knockback he did, but part of that's just me. I mean, I would have like ran into those mobs anyways, because that's where I was heading. So this is another example of kind of clearing out a cave, like when you're going into them. A lot of people avoid caves completely. I don't think that's necessary, but again, this is still salvageable at this point. You're a druid. You have a lot of survivability. You just kind of need to use like the line of sight to your advantage. These guys are kind of rough as a druid because they heal and you only have Pash to interrupt. So you can see me going back here to, this is LOS, and to heal up a little bit. And I made a mistake here because I should have just casted Regrowth. Um, the Rejuvenation Regrowth combination made me out of mana to shift back into bear form. And bear form increases your HP by a lot and increases your armor a lot. And this is him healing. So like if I was in bear form, I could have bashed that. But now this is already a lost fight. They've out enduranced me. They're low on mana, but I'm lower on mana, and they can like literally just melee and whittle me down at this point. This is not my only death in this cave either. We'll see another one in a second. If you see me pop open my character portrait, it's usually a sign of me being upset. Just FYI. Like, I can't believe I lost that. So this is an Iron Man character, and Iron Man characters are extremely weak characters. You can't have talents, you can't use potions, you can only use first aid as a profession, and this Highway Man beats me 1v1. And it's kind of dumb because like I probably should not have fought him on Iron Man. He's a level higher than me. But I mean, if you notice down here, it's kind of hard to see, but he crits me a few times. 56, 26. Those aren't crits, but 47. That's a crit. 50, 30, 47 again, 47 again, and it's just over. It's a very very quick fight. But, I mean, that's Iron Man in a nutshell right here. I probably didn't have like a lot of quests left in the area, and I didn't want to grind. So that's probably trying to do just the quests I had, and you can't really do that in Iron Man. This is another Iron Man death. Hunters are extremely strong in Iron Man. Extremely. Their pet kind of scales without you needing any gear. So you kind of get like almost, I wouldn't say an unfair advantage, because they still, if you get aggro, you're still going to take like a lot of damage and die quickly. And your damage is pretty low outside of your pet. So the play here, before I even jump off here, again, I'm in a cave, take the long way around, clear everything. It's obvious. My idea is I can jump down, call my pet who's currently dismissed to tank this mob, which works fine to start off with. And then I start making mistakes. I jump too far back and I aggro the Siren right here. At this point, I'm still fine. Hunters are strong. I send my pet over to this. This is where I messed up. Because I could have ranged down to Siren as Hunter. I would have won that fight, even as Iron Man. I send my pet over there, and now this guy aggros. So, I'm not exactly sure why I'm attacking the Wave Rider. I should have finished off the Siren again. He's the main threat. If you don't kill him fast enough, they heal, like I said in the other video. At this point, I know I'm screwed. Like, I could have wing clip and run, but there's a patrol that comes down this ramp. There's mobs behind me. I'm pretty much trapped. This is a desperation move right here. And one that's not going to work because I don't have improved revive pet. It's a 10-second cast. He's just wailing at me. I'm not dodging. I'm not parrying because I'm casting. Again, this is a level 16 Iron Man Hunter that I basically lost because I was trying to go quick. And you can't go quick. You can't go quick in hardcore. You can't go quick in Iron Man. It's just not something you do. This right here is the most painful death I've had in hardcore in Iron Man. So this was an escort. This guy around here walks, and he walks to certain places, and once he gets there to certain ones, mobs will spawn. I made the right call here of attacking the caster first. This guy chunks. I shield bash this thing to kind of get this other mob off of the NPC. He's extremely weak. I could have taunted him off because I have taunt at this point, but I just was kind of like focusing on this caster. I could have popped retaliation here. That might have saved me. Um, Even then, I don't know. It's it's really tough to say. So this is like me running away, and then I see this mob out here. So like even if I would have like never bandaged myself and kept running, it was a death either way. And this is kind of like a thing of knowing what quests to avoid, or making sure you're like a higher level to like deal with like how tough some of these quests are. This is definitely something I will avoid in the future as a warrior. Like there's not enough benefit because like a lot of these quests, like they only give like a thousand experience, like not even at this level. You can just kill a couple mobs. Like I have rest experience. I usually juggle a lot of alts. So I usually have like a lot of rest experience. Just I could have like literally grinded the same amount of experience as I would have got from turning in that quest. And I don't think that quest gives like any good rewards. It's a big thing with hardcore. Uh, so this is me. I was trying to kind of switch into easy mode and kind of like cheat, like in a way. Everyone knows Hunter's probably the easiest class for hardcore, for Iron Man, for whatever. Like I said, like the pet you get that is just very very powerful. Um, you can actually see me talking to someone else. I need a hardcore 60. It's because like that's how into it I was at the time. So I had that last death. Obviously, that's very discouraging. Then I had this death. So first thing you'll notice with this death is that's a respawn right here. There's another respawn right in front of me. So I'm trying to like avoid respawns here. And I don't know how that guy like he came anyways. So it's kind of sucks. I got dazed because I turned my back to this mob. Not a big deal. I keep moving back throughout the cave. You can see another respawn up there, the red name up there. Um, we're doing fine. We're doing fine. This right now is three mobs. Here's a fourth mob that also just respawned. And a fifth mob that respawns. So I backed up a little bit too far here, and I got that mob. So that's six now. At this point, I'm panicking. Like, six mobs in a row. Like, they're green mobs, but it's six mobs in a row. I have almost no mana. These guys disarm. I do 0 DPS, so I'm disarmed. There's this seventh mob that also respawned. So, yeah, this is kind of one of those things where, one, if I would have planted, I would have only had three mobs to fight. Um, like these initial three mobs, maybe a fourth mob that patrols. I don't know exactly where all the spawn locations are in the cave. I'm not that hard into questing, but I mean that's the yellow mob. Two yellow mobs, a green mob. You can see that one that I actually didn't notice it the first time, but mob will respawn where my pet is right there. So it's just, if I would have stayed where like those initial mobs were, I probably only got three mobs, maybe a fourth mob at best. So like that would have helped me out a lot. Other than that, like I played this pretty much as well as I could have, except for backing into that one mob. Obviously, that was a big mistake. I don't think it would have mattered though. I was just trapped in a cave. Um, this is like why a lot of people kind of avoid caves. Hyper spawns and being stuck with like no escape route is a really really bad thing. This was a pretty painful death, and I kind of raged after this death. And when I say raged, I leveled this character up to level 22 in a day. It took about 12 hours. I came back and I DC'd and I played Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 hardcore. I know you can appeal DC deaths in the hardcore community. I played Diablo 2, Diablo 3 hardcore quite a bit, and like if you got lagged out and died, you walked away from a computer and a mob patrolled into you or whatever and you died, it doesn't matter like in that. So my mentality is that I would just delete the character, and luckily it was only 22, because if I was higher, like I don't know if I would have like the stuck with that idea of deleting a character. You can see this is the hardcore add-on. I actually installed it at this point. I kind of raged again at this point and made like another character that I got up to. You can see my internet still being really shitty here. I got up to level 18, which I actually deleted that one too because I wanted to start fresh when I came back to hardcore. But between these last 3 deaths, I mean, you can see that this last one was on December 2nd. I needed a break at that point. I was burnt out. I lost my Iron Man baby at level 22. I lost the 22 hunter. I lost the 19 hunter. And 135 hours roughly of game time. But we go again. That's the whole thing about hardcore. You learn, you grow, and I mean, I'm having a blast playing it. So you go again, and you honor the dead and remember them. Like, as soon as I loaded like a lot of these clips, I knew exactly what was going to happen because those memories are like stuck with me. So I highly recommend, if you've never played hardcore, to play hardcore. It's brings you back into the world of Warcraft. Like, it's why I fell in love with the game to begin with. It wasn't because of the rating. It wasn't because of the community. It was literally like the RPG leveling. And I fully believe that if you took out, like the online aspect of World of Warcraft, it would still be, maybe not today's standards, but when it came out, it would have been like a 9 out of 10 game still. Like, the leveling and RPG elements and world exploration of World of Warcraft are what make the game. And luckily with hardcore, you have a great community to go along with that, of people supporting each other, cheering each other on. There's a few doomers out there, as they call them, people that wish you, hope to see you die and lose your character to see how you react. But it's something that I'm glad that exists, and I highly recommend anyone to play it. Even if you're just playing offline. I say offline, I mean like not streaming. You can't actually play World of Warcraft offline, but give it a shot. That's all I had today. I'm starting the streams back up right after this video, so